In 1979, Brenda Spencer opened fire on students and staff at Cleveland Elementary School in San Carlos, killing 2 people, injuring 8 others. Today, 46 years later, she argued for her freedom at a parole hearing.
My name is Tommy Springfield.
And I'm better than you!
And on this channel, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. And if you like how I do that, click that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all, so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. Maybe you've been here before, maybe you new.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
I like to think of myself as a superhero, but you know, the ghetto kind. Like Batman, I'm Batman. I live in the Bat Cave, I drive a Batmobile, and I promise you, I'm that nigga. Is this justice, or is this a system that loves locking people up and throwing away the key? And I know some of you, when you hear what she did, you're going to say, yeah, she deserves to be in there. Lock her up, throw away the key. But she's been in prison for 47 years. At this time, she's been in prison for 14 years. And this is what she says about the crime. What did she do? She shot up a school, 16 years old, on drugs, drinking, allegedly, and she shot up a school. Yes, it's a bad crime, but it was 47 years ago, and she's been denied parole 7 times. But let's let the story speak for itself.
So that whole week ahead of time it's pretty much a blur, you know. It's just one bottle of booze after another.
Where'd you get the PCP?
You buy it at school and on the streets. It was really, really common then on the streets.
Okay, you're on whiskey, PCP, then what happened? It's Monday morning.
You know, I have a very fragmented memory of the whole day. Mostly what I remember is what I've read in the police reports. And I couldn't take you step by step through the whole day, but I basically know what happened.
Through reading the police reports?
Reading the reports. And
do you look at her? Do she scream, I'm telling you the truth right now, or I'm saying what I need to say in this interview? Remember, this is 14 years after the crime. She committed the crime in 1979 when she was 16. Do you believe her so far?
And things. But it's still because I was so many drugs and stuff, and it's just really fragmented on what I remember.
We met in a visiting area at the Frontera Women's Prison in Corona. A small woman, Brenda Spencer strikes you as quiet, reserved, polite, and intelligent. She told me that on that Monday morning in 1979, she was hallucinating after a week of drinking whiskey and taking the powerful drug PCP, a drug she says she bought at school. What does she remember about that morning?
Do you remember the gun?
Mm-hmm. I remember the rifle because I had gotten that a month previous.
As a Christmas present?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was for Christmas.
From your father?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember loading the gun? Do you remember pointing the gun?
Mm-hmm. I remember looking out and seeing like commando types sneaking up on the house and stuff, and I don't remember actually going in and getting the rifle and loading it up, but I remember seeing them and being real scared and terrified. You know, they're coming to get me, and I have to protect myself and stuff. And I know somewhere in there I did go and get the rifle. So
the whole thing to you, 14 years later, is just this drugged out haze, basically.
Yeah, it's really broken up and fragmented. I can't sit there and tell you, well, at this time I did this, and at this time, you know, it's just little bits and pieces that have come back over the years. Like the week prior, that one, I don't really have many memories from that.
So that's what she said 14 years after the crime. Do you believe her? Do you think her still being in jail 47 years later is worth it? You think that's justice? Yes, I know. Oh, yeah, she shot up the school. She killed kids. Yeah, she killed them kids when she was a kid. You know, she made that decision as a child. But here's an update on what's going on with her right now, today.
In 1979, Brenda Spencer opened fire on students and staff at Cleveland Elementary School in San Carlos, killing 2 people, injuring 8 others. Today, 46 years later, she argued for her freedom at a parole hearing.
I don't remember the shooting itself.
Cameras were allowed in this parole hearing 20 years ago, but not today. Spencer's bid for freedom Friday was held over a video conference. Much of today's testimony we've heard before, including unsubstantiated claims of abuse and drug use. But there was some new information too, including Spencer's attorney saying she was diagnosed as...
That's her when she was a kid. So do you hold her still responsible 47 years later? Like, yes, she did what she did, but 47 years? At this point, if you really want to do some help, she's costing the state $70,000 a year or more to house her. Give the family $70,000 a year until she dies. As long as she's alive, the family will get $70,000 a year. Like, it doesn't make sense to have her in prison 47 years later. I know that's my opinion, but get in the comment section and give me your opinion. Why am I wrong for thinking that way?
Being on the autism spectrum, and if granted parole, she would live out of the area. Expletive San Diego, Spencer said in the hearing, "I don't want to go back there because my victims are there." Spencer, who was 16 years old when she shot her victims with a .22 caliber rifle, claimed today that she was aiming over the kids' heads and that her actions were really an attempt at suicide by cop. She also said she didn't remember telling a reporter on the day of the shootings that she did it because she didn't like Mondays.
And that's what she was called, the Monday school shooter, because allegedly she told them she did it because she was bored and don't like Mondays. But I ain't gonna lie, she looked like a little Adam Wednesday from the Addams Family, so she might didn't like Mondays. And but I'm just saying, not to make jokes of it, but 47 years later, still keep her in prison. She's up for parole again in 2028. Like, is this really justice, or is it an overkill?
But in closing arguments, the deputy district attorney said the children were struck in their lower extremities. She was shooting to harm and to kill. Spencer's attorney said in her closing remarks, she does not pose a danger to society.
And that's where she fucked up, because she's still trying to, 47 years later, justify it. Like, oh, I really wasn't trying to aim. I was aiming over their heads, but you shot them in the middle part of their body. Stop it. I mean, even though you were 16 and that rifle was a big gun, she could have jerked up. I don't know. Well, no, that if she was aiming at the middle, it would have been higher. I don't know. Get in the comment section. Let me know what you think.
2 victims also spoke.
I was shot an inch away from my heart, and it went clear through my back.
Including Cam Miller, who I recently interviewed. Both argued Spencer should never be released, and they weren't alone. Cleveland Elementary's principal, Burton Ragg, was one of 2 people who died that day. His granddaughter didn't know about today's hearing until CBS 8 aired preview stories, and by then it was...
And look, that's my point. People didn't even know that she was up for parole until they heard it on the news. So I'm just saying, victims, they even done forgot about it. Not saying it's okay, but it's 47 years. Is this justice? Is this the way the system meant for it to go? Because I said it in another video, a man that inserts himself into a child don't get forever. And I think he should get forever, but he don't get forever, and everybody's happy with that. I'm just saying, get in the comment section, give me your opinion.
Was too late to file a request to speak. She was allowed to enter a statement that said in part, "We do not forgive school shooters. We do not forget those we lost. There is no world and no parallel universe in which what Spencer did was pardonable." After deliberating for just over 20 minutes, the board denied Spencer parole, saying, "We find you pose an unreasonable risk to society." Spencer's next parole hearing is scheduled for 2028.
You know, this is just my opinion. I don't see how a woman that's been in jail for 47 years poses a risk. I don't think she's coming out to do anything. And I just don't think being in prison for 47 years is justice. I really don't. It's actually a burden on the state. But like I say over here, I present you with the facts. I give you my opinion on those facts. If you like how I do that, hit that like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, click all so you can get notifications every time I drop one of these videos. If you're a supporter of the channel, much love and respect. I salute. And if you're one of the haters and you support this type of behavior, locking people up for 50 and 60 years, cut the shit. That part.